All right, Shalom. Shalom. First off and foremost, as always, I want to say, Call Lam La, Yahweh. Excuse me. I want to say, Call Lam La, Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rakakwadash. Double honor being to the elder apostles, a great millstone that do rule and teach well. And a shalom to you, Ankim out there that's pushing his truth through the spirit, through the power, and through the name of Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rakakwadash. Okay, so this lesson is going to be titled, These People Don't Expect Us to Win. Okay? These people do not expect us, the men of the Lord, the hopeful elect, to win, because, they just see us as, regular guys that's, on the highways and byways, to them, we looked at as crazy, but they don't know the severity, they're not aware of what we are truly, fighting for, that salvation. We are, striving to be saved, to be delivered, but that's what these people fail to realize, is that we're on a different mission than you. We're on a different path. We've been called to something higher, and what we've been called into, and Lord's will, of course, we all want to be chosen, right? That's what we hope for. That's why we say we were the hopeful elect. We hope to be chosen, but yeah, man, we're living a true underdog story. And a lot of these people look at, the prowess of the Lord, like we're just, like this is some trend, but it's not, and people are soon going to realize that prophets, were among them. And actually, I'll start off with that, because the point of the lesson is, this is a true underdog story, and these people expect us to not win. They expect us to lose. So without further ado, let me grab this quick precept. This is the book of Ezekiel, chapter 33 and verse 33. And it says, "And when this cometh to pass, lo, it will come," meaning the prophecies, right? The prophecies that are foretold in the scriptures that the prophets, to this day, prophesy about. Okay, and let's name some off. Let's name the prophets. Let's list them off. The prophecy of the MOTB becoming mandatory, which is indeed the RFID micro C-hip, right? That's the mark of the beast. Okay, Jacob's trouble. It's going to be time like no other. All hell's going to break loose here in Babylon. Here in this earth. Okay, World War III. How shall returning. Okay, and ultimately, Babylon being destroyed by thermonuclear destruction. Okay, that destroying wind that is mentioned in the book of Jeremiah, the 51st chapter. Okay, so, and when it's coming to pass, lo, it will come, then shall they know that a prophet, or should I say prophets, had been among them. Okay, but the people, especially our people, Israel, 2/3, if you will, they fail to realize that what, they're seeing, because, the word is going out. There's the topic of an Israelite, and, Jake being an Israelite, they know. Okay, Jake know, the heathen know, everybody knows. The cat's out the bag. Okay, so those people fail to realize that, we are not just doing this just because, just because it's a trend how people look at it. It's not a trend. This is serious. This is literally life or death. We're fighting for our salvation to be delivered, because, we have been warned. We have been woken up to repent, to know what's about to happen, and we have been moved, with fear. Okay, and us being moved with fear, is what keeps us on our toes, So we are doing this, showing our faith by our works because we want to be saved, man. People, they don't look at it like that because, they don't know. They're in gross darkness, okay? So, like I said, this is a underdog story, okay? People are going to realize that soon prophets, have truly been among them because when things get, rough and tough out here, when shit's the fan, it's going to be too late, It's going to be too late. It's going to be the fame of the word, and what people have, you know, indulged in here in Babylon, being in the flesh all the time and, just living in folly, hey, they're going to be asked out because, the time is now is to get right with the Yahweh Shema Shai before, things get worse, you know. But since this lesson is titled The Underdog Story, and how the people, don't expect us to win, that's how that's how King David was looked at. King David was looked at, the underdog to not defeat Goliath. Okay. And to prove that, let's get and really this whole chapter is amazing. But since it's a long chapter, I'm not gonna read the whole thing. But I'm gonna start up. The point I want to get is in like verse let's see, I believe 50. But I'm gonna start in verse I'm gonna start at verse 40. Okay. So this is 1 Samuel 17 and verse 40. Now, like I said, this whole chapter is beautiful. You can go, you can go and read it on your own time. But yeah, man, this is a beautiful chapter. But I just wanted to get to the point to show, that King David, was an underdog at one point, But this is 1 Samuel 17 and verse 40. Okay, real quick. Let's see real quick. I'm going to scroll up a little bit. Okay, now I'm going to read this verse first. Now, this is 1 Samuel 17 and verse 33. And it says, and Saul said to David, thou art not able to go against this Philistine to fight with him. Talking about Goliath. For thou art but a youth, and he a man of war from his youth. You see, so even Saul, doubted David, because, Goliath was about 9 feet tall when you go into it. They say like 6 cubits or something like that. But in the NLT, the version of the scriptures, it says that he was like, I believe, like 9 feet tall, So he was that's tall as shit, man. And he was, of course, he was a heathen, but he was a man of war from his youth, and David, he had, the faith, he had the name of the Lord, he had that confidence, to go up against, this mighty man of war, but David he was young, he was young, and a young man, but he wasn't afraid of Goliath, you see. But him being, smaller than, Goliath, in case in point, in verse 33, Saul was, doubting him, you see. And in this moment, he was an underdog, you see. And nobody expect us to win to get that salvation. They just expect us to continue to, be bywords and, spicks and niggers, here in Babylon, here in captivity. Okay, nobody don't expect a so-called minority, to be the child of, the Most High or something greater than what they are used to, like a rapper or a basketball player, but you get the point. So even Saul was doubting David. Now we jump down to verse 40. It says, and he took his staff in his hand, and he talking about King, at the time, David, before he became King David, right? And he took his staff in his hand and chose some 5 smooth stones out of the brook and put them in a shepherd's bag, which he had even in a scrip. And his sling was in his hand, and he drew near to the Philistine, right? So he's picking out stones, and he got his sling, his sling in his hand, so he's getting prepared. Okay, because they try to give, because we can read up, they tried to give him, the armor and whatnot, but he wasn't used to it, so he took it off. So he just went with what he had already, stones in his sling, right? And it says, verse 41, and the Philistine came on and drew near unto David, and the man that bare the shield went before him. And when the Philistine looked about and saw David, he disdained him, for he was but a youth, right? So David was very young, for he was but a youth and ruddy and of a fair countenance, And some people would say, "Oh, David was he was white, because it says ruddy, he was red like Esau." No, that just means that he was young. He was he was in his youth. He was as they say, he was in his prime. As they say, he was young. And it says verse 43, and the Philistine said unto David, am I a dog that thou comest to me with staves? And the Philistine cursed David by his gods. And the Philistine said to David, come to me, and I will give thy flesh unto the fowls of the air and to the beasts of the field. Now, so that's a threat. He's threatening to kill David. It's war. Okay. Then said David to the Philistine, thou comest to me with the sword and with the spear and with the shield, but I come to thee in the name of the Lord Yahweh Shema Shai of hosts, the God of the armies of Israel, whom thou hast defied. And you see that name is powerful. Okay. The name of Yahweh Shema Shai is powerful, man. Okay. Through the name of the Lord, nothing is impossible. Okay. You got to have that faith in that name. Okay. Because once you have the name of the Lord Yahweh Shema Shai, and you praise him and call upon him in all sincerity and truth, anything is possible. You see? So David's saying, you come to me with a sword, a shield, and a spear, but I come to you in the name of Yahweh Shema Shai. All right. So the name is all powerful, man. The name is you need the name. Okay. It says that no name under heaven, whereby amongst men that we can be saved, roughly paraphrasing it, pertains to the book of Acts 4 and verse 12. Okay. The name of the Lord, let's get that real quick. This is Proverbs 18 and verse 10. It says, the name of the Lord is a strong tower. You see, meaning what? Meaning that the name is it's a defense. You call upon that name, and then the Lord will protect you and guide you. You see, it's likened unto a strong tower. As somebody would say, like a safe house. When you're in a time of need or whatever the case may be, you call upon it and lean upon the name of the Lord, and that's likened unto a strong tower, right? And it says the righteous runneth into it and is safe. You see, so the name of the Lord is a strong fortress. Okay, we have to rely on Yahweh Shema Shai, especially the times that are coming here on the soils of America. Jacob's trouble, things are about to ramp up. So we need the Lord. Okay, things are about to happen out here. Things are happening. Okay, but soon things are going to increase. All right. And it says the righteous run into it and it's safe, right? The righteous are gonna, pray to Yahweh Shema Shai, okay, because they believe in that name. Okay, ultimately, who's the righteous? The elect, right? So let's head back to 1 Samuel. Where is it at? 1 Samuel 17, and scroll back down, and verse 45, and it says, I'll read it one more time. Then said David unto the Philistine, thou comest to me with a sword and with a spear and with a shield, but I come to thee in the name, you see, in the name of the Lord of hosts, the power of the God of the armies of Israel, whom thou hast defied. Because Goliath, he had cursed us. What did it say? He said that he cursed David, by his gods, you see. But the scriptures say we can go to the book of Psalm 96, I believe, It says that the gods of the nations are idols, so they mean nothing. They're nothing. They're weak. They ain't shit. Okay, the true God is Yahweh Shema Shai. All right, those other gods of the heathens, they're those are just false idols, man. They're false names that won't do nothing. They can't save you. Only God that can save you is Yahweh Shema Shai. Okay, he kills, he makes alive. Okay, so let's back in 1 Samuel 17 and verse 46, and it says, "This day will the Lord deliver thee into mine hand, and I will smite thee and take thine head from thee. And I will give the carcasses of the host of the Philistines this day unto the fowls of the air and to the wild beasts of the earth, that all the earth may know that there is a God in Israel." You see, so David is saying, "Hey, I'm gonna do some. I'm gonna mess you up, real nice. I'm gonna defeat you. You see." And it says, "And all the assembly shall know that the Lord saveth not with sword and spear, for the battle is the Lord's, and he will give you into our hands." You see? So David, so he was confident. He had that faith, man. And that's how you gotta be in this thing. You gotta have that faith. You gotta have faith, because faith is ultimately a gift from the Most High. And to prove that, let's snag that in the book of Ephesians, the second chapter. Okay. This is Ephesians 2 and verse 8. It says, "For by grace are ye saved through faith." You see? So us being under grace, by the, Yahweh Shai, the grace of Yahweh Shai, because we're in captivity, and some things, is going to happen. We're going to go off at times and they're going to make mistakes. So that's why that's why the Yahweh gave us Yahweh Shai. So that way we can repent in his name, and because we're under grace. Everything is not going to be, done perfectly, right? We're still in a sinful flesh at this moment, you see. But within that grace period, we have been given faith, to believe in Yahweh Shai, to have confidence in the name of the Lord, you see. So that's what keeps us going. Okay, and it says, "And that not of yourselves, it is the gift of the Most High." You see, so faith is a gift, and not just any kind of faith. Faith in the names of the Lord, because anybody can have faith. They can have faith in their favorite football team. They can have faith in their favorite, whatever. But we have faith in, our God. Okay, anyhow about Shema Shai. All right. So let's head back to 1 Samuel 17 and verse, let's see, 48. And it says, "And it came to pass when the Philistines arose and came and drew nigh to meet David, that David hasted and ran toward the army to meet the Philistine." Okay. "And David put his hand in his bag and took thence a stone and slang it and smote the Philistine in his forehead, that the stone sunk into his forehead, and he fell upon his face to the earth." You see? So just like that, okay, just like that, you got Goliath, this 9 feet tall dude, a warrior from his youth, saying that he's gonna, kill David, and he's gonna defeat David. But look at this. Okay, let's read it again. "And David put his hand in his bag and took thence a stone and slang it and smote the Philistine in his forehead, that the stone sunk into his forehead." You see, so that's, man, so he slain that stone, and that stone was so deep in his head, it made a dent, and it sunk in Goliath's forehead. Okay, and this account reminds me of the movie Troy, when you had Brad Pitt. He was fighting that dude from the other army, and he was a big ass, a soldier. But all Troy did was he like kind of sprinted towards him, like jogged towards him, and then he had hopped up and he had like, he had stabbed him like in his shoulder or something, like shoulder area or something like that, between shoulder and neck, and just like that, it was over. You see, it was no drawn out battle. It was like that, over like that. And that's how it was right here. You see, and why was that? Let's keep going. And it says, So David prevailed over the Philistine with the sling and with the stone, and smote the Philistine and slew him. But there was no sword in the hand of David. You see, because the reason why that happened, because it wasn't the stone. That even though, okay, of course the stone, did the damage, but guess what? It was the name of the Lord ultimately. Okay, the name of the Lord. That's why when you read up in verse, let's see here, where is it at? Verse 45, it says, Then said David to the Philistine, Thou comest to me with a sword and with a spear and with a shield, but I come to thee in the name of the Lord of hosts. You see? So the name is what the reason why David, defeated Goliath. Not the, of course, the stone is, it had to be there because, everything got to be played out here on earth. But ultimately, it was through the name of the Lord which allowed David to defeat, Goliath. You see, but before he defeated Goliath, you had David. He's basically the underdog, and people, for example, like Saul, they didn't see him, defeating Goliath. Okay, but we can go into accounts like this, to give us that faith booster and hope, and encouragement. You see, to not allow these people to throw us off our A game, because hey, through our faith we know what we're doing is right. Okay, that's why it says this when you go to the book of this is the book of Second Esdras, chapter 15 and verse 3, and it says, fear not the imaginations against thee, let not the incredulity of them trouble thee that speak against thee. And the word incredulity means unbelief. So don't allow, the unbelief of these unbelievers, which ultimately is Satan, don't allow that to deter you from the mission that you were called to do. Okay, because we're underdogs right now, and that's cool because the scriptures say before honor there is what? Humility. Okay, before honor is humility. Okay. And hey, man, there's nothing wrong with that. Okay, right now, hey, there's nothing wrong with taking the low road right now. But soon, because soon the Lord is going to exalt us. Okay, just like how Shai was exalted, in the heavens, man. Okay, so we're going to be, good. But the case in point, to stick in the topic at hand, is us being underdogs. Okay, and real quick, and that's why it says in the book of James, the Lord chose the poor of this world, but rich in faith. You see? So real quick, this is the book of First Corinthians, chapter 1, and verse, I'll start at 25. It says, because the foolishness of the Most High is wiser than men, and the weakness of the Most High is stronger than men. For ye see your calling, brethren, how that not many wise men after the flesh, not many mighty, not many noble are called. You see, because there's a lot of men in this world, a lot of people in this world that are mighty, they're noble, but they haven't been called because the Lord don't want them. And the Lord calling us, is Him showing that that's a miracle right there, because people look at us like we're just weak and like we're just nothing, but the Lord's power being shown right here, because you have brothers out here confounding, people that are of great status, So not many, wise, of this, not many wise men that according to this world, or, famous people are called, the Lord don't want them, Plus, they have the consolation on this side. You see, they're worldly, guys like, Floyd Mayweather, Mike Tyson, you know, uh, the list goes on, so the Lord's not calling them. He called, the poor of this world, the so-called average Joe, right? So it says, verse 27, but the Most High have chosen the foolish things of this world to confound the wise, right? And the Most High have chosen the weak things of the world to confound the things which are mighty. You see, in the Lord, in the eyes of society, what are we? We are just so-called minorities, right? So-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native and Seminole Indians, we are the bottom of the barrel. But the Lord has raised us up, right, to confound, these strongholds out here. All right. And guess what? This is all the Lord is doing. The Lord is using us as his mouthpiece to get his message across. You see? So even within that, the Lord is showing his power. He has chosen, call, these, his servants, in the eyes of the world to be, weak, and to be, foolish. But the Lord is using these men to confound things that are mighty in this world. Okay. False doctrines, other vain opinions that people may have. All those things are getting confounded. Okay, all those things are getting shut down because the Lord is speaking through us. You see, and it says, "And base things of the world and things which are despised, right, have the Most High chosen." Okay, so and we're despised here, man. Let's keep it a buck. We are the nation of Israel. Okay, we are despised people. Okay, we're looked at in the wrong manner. Let's be honest here. We are a broken nation right now, and these other nations look at us like we're nothing. You see, so we're despised in this side. But soon, we're gonna get that fame back pertaining to the book of Zephaniah, the 3rd chapter. Okay, and it says, "Yea, in things which are not, to bring to naught things that are." You see, so the Most High is doing all of this, man. He's showing who he's truly dealing with. Okay. So like the title of the lesson says, people don't expect you to win. People don't expect us to overcome. You see, these heathens out here, they don't expect us, to be, the next up. That's why it says, the heathen rage and imagine a vain thing, because these people out here, they think that, nations like China or Russia is gonna be the next superpower, the next super nation. No. Okay, people fail to realize that the Lord's people are next. Okay, that's why it says, "For Esau is the end of the world, and Jacob is the beginning of it that followeth." Okay, the saints shall take the kingdom and possess it forever, forever, even forever. Okay, point blank, period. Okay, that's prophecy. It's prophecy for us to rule, man. Okay, so let's head from there, and we can go to the wisdom of Solomon, the 5th chapter, and I'll start right from the top. And it says, "Then shall the righteous man stand in great boldness before the face of such as have afflicted him, and made no account of his labors." You see, so the men of the Lord are out here day by day. Whether it's out here in the highways and byways or doing lessons on the internet, right? We are standing out here boldness through the spirit and power of Yahweh Shema Shai. But yet, our labor that we do is not looked at as something great to the eyes of the people, to the majority. You see, even though the believers are out here, you got the believers that believe in the word, the brothers and few sisters. But for the most part, people out here, they don't, take account of our labors. They don't take account of what we go through. They don't care to know what we go through. They just look at us as niggas and Latinos. Okay, that's it. Nothing more. Like the dude said a couple years ago, some bugged out Edomite. He said that it was a video. He said that niggas deserve nothing less than nothing or something like that. But that goes to show on how people look at us, especially the men of the Lord. Okay, we are looked at as just shit. People try to put a bad rap on the name on the men of the Lord. You see, but guess what? That's why Yahushua said the servant is not greater than the master, because the same thing that we're going through, okay, or about to go through, all right. That's the same thing that Yahushua went through. Okay, people didn't look at Now, of course, you had believers in Jake that believed in Yahushua, faithful Israelites, but you also had people that didn't believe in Yahushua and that didn't look at him as a savior. You see, so how much more us? right? So verse 2, it says, when they see it, they shall be troubled with terrible fear, right? When they see what? Let's keep going. And shall be amazed at the strangeness of his salvation. That's what they're going to be scared at. You see, they're going to be in a state of perplexity, a state of awe. Okay, when 2/3 see it. Okay, especially the nigga woman. Okay, because they're on Esau's side right now. They're not our woman right now. Okay, when these heathens see it, all right, people are going to be amazed. They're going to be taken back at the strangeness of our salvation, because with people, because they're going to see what they have seen in movies. Okay, people's reality is about to get altered. It's about to get shifted, because people out here, they live in la la land. You see, there's a big difference from people's reality and the Lord's reality, and that is prophecy. Okay, and it says, and when they see it, they shall be troubled with terrible fear, and shall be amazed at the strangeness of his salvation. And that's gonna, and what's that talking about? That's talking about the deliverance of the elect. Okay, and I'm gonna say like this: yes, UFOs are gonna beam up so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native American and Seminole Indians. Okay, and of course, there's like foreigners that may look like the heathen nations, but their lineage, their bloodline goes back to Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, which makes them an Israelite. You see, that's gonna be our deliverance. Okay, and if you're new watching, and new to the truth, okay, UFOs, so-called UFOs, are in the Bible. They are very real, and angels are inside those UFOs, so-called UFOs. But in the Bible, the so-called UFOs are called chariots of Israel. Chariots of the Lord. You see, and sometimes in the scriptures, they're called clouds. Okay, like we go to the book of Acts, the first chapter, or like around the ninth verse. Okay, when it says a cloud, took Yahweh Shai up, into a cloud, but that's talking about a so-called UFO, okay, or a chariot. You see, so chariots is gonna be the way out of the destruction that's gonna come upon Babylon. The only way out is up. You see, and it says, so far beyond all that they looked for. Okay. And they repenting and groaning for anguish of spirit shall say within themselves, this was he whom we had sometimes in derision and a proverb of reproach. Right. So people are not going to be expecting for us to be delivered, for us to be, the main ones, man. You see, a lot of people out here, they don't expect us to win. They just expect us to, to just be who they think we are. But we're more than that. Okay? Just like how Shai told those Pharisees, man. He said that I'm from above and you from beneath. You see? And that's the mindset that we're in. Hey, guess what, man? We are from above. These people out here, guess what? They're from beneath, man. Because what we think about, the thoughts that we have is eternal thoughts, man. Okay, the kingdom. We seek things on high, things that's not on earth, but things that pertains to Yahweh Shema Shai and eternity, man. All right. So these people out here, they are on a low level, but yet they still want to scoff. They still want to speak ill of the truth. But guess what? Soon people are going to be confounded. Okay. And it says, this was he whom we had sometimes in derision and a proverb of reproach. We fools account to his life madness and his end to be without honor. How is he numbered among the children of the Most High, and his lot is among the saints? You see? So people are going to get confounded soon, because they're not going to expect us to get that deliverance. They're not going to expect us to win. You see? And a lot of Christians out here, they think that, that doctrine of the rapture, they call it, that they're just going to get beamed up and, get delivered. No. Okay, because they believe in a whole different being, a deity. They believe in JC. They call on a white man. Okay, they're not serving Yahweh Shema Shai, so they're deceived. Okay, they're effing delusional. They're like how Jake say, they're delulu, you know, because we know who we worship and we know who we serve. Okay, and Yahweh Shema Shai is coming back to deliver us quickly, man. All right, and we are not gonna, you know, soon, we are not gonna be underdogs, forever. Okay, because the underdog story, only lasts for, it only lasts until the underdog overcomes to be the champion, man. And that's what we hope to be. We hope to be delivered and be crowned by Yahweh Shai himself. Okay. So, I just wanted to do that quick lesson. And Lord's will, this lesson was edifying to the Lord's sheep. And I just want to say, call Lam La Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rachakwadash. Double honor being to the elder apostles of Great Millstone that do rule and teach well. And a shalom to you, Ankim out there that's pushing his truth through spirit, through the power, and through the name of Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rachakwadash. With that being said, shalom.